The Untold Story of Marie Antoinette. The bedroom where a queen broke and rose again. Before I show you the videos I filmed in Marie Antoinette's bedroom, the actual bedroom where the story unfolded, you need to know a bit about the woman herself. She was only 14 when she arrived from Austria. 14 and handed a crown made of expectations. As I stood there, I imagined what it felt like to be that young, thrown into a world where every smile meant something, every silence meant more, and every mistake became a scandal. This bedroom held her secrets, her laughter, her tears, her exhaustion, her loneliness, her hope. People see the beauty, the gold, the diamonds, the excess, but they forget she was a human being living inside a palace that felt more like a golden cage than a home. This room also witnessed her deepest heartbreaks, her losses, miscarriages, her fights for privacy. Her children were born into the world of pressure, and she tried so hard to give them the warmth she was rarely allowed to feel herself. And yet, through the chaos of the French court, Marie Antoinette still managed to cultivate joy. It was in this very bedroom where I was fortunate to stand and record these videos that Marie Antoinette came of age. This is where her marriage was consummated. Not in privacy, but in the presence of nobles and members of the court, her most intimate moment witnessed by many. Just imagine how that must have felt. To have your womanhood, your vulnerability, your first experience as a wife turned into a public ceremony. She created fashion, she redefined softness, she carved out little corners of peace, even if the world thought she was too much, too frivolous, too extravagant. Because sometimes when life cages you, beauty becomes rebellion. Standing in her bedroom, I realized something. Marie Antoinette wasn't killed because she was careless. She was killed because she was misunderstood, because she dared to live as a woman with softness, with a heart, creativity, and emotion. In a world ruled by politics, ego, and power, history tells us she said, "Let them eat cake." But the same history says she did not say these words. They wrote lies to break her, to turn her into a symbol of everything they hated. But here's the truth. She was a young woman trying to survive an empire collapsing around her. This room, this beautiful, iconic room, holds the last traces of who she really was. A woman who wanted to love, to live, to breathe, and just reign. And as I stood there, I understood her, not as a queen, but as a woman who gave her all and still wasn't enough for a world hungry for someone to blame. A woman who carried the weight of a kingdom on her shoulders. A woman who dreamt of freedom in a palace made of gold. When you leave the room and walk back into Versailles, the walls feel different. The palace stops being just a tourist destination. It becomes a memory. A sanctuary of memory of beauty and tragedy. And I think every person who visits here feels it. They feel that silent connection with a queen who lived larger than her age. Marie Antoinette was not perfect, but she was powerful. She was feminine. She was soft. She was strong, misunderstood, and unforgettable.